Your engine might be wasting $400 a year. It's probably your fuel injectors. But here's the problem. Most people pay a mechanic over $300 just to remove and clean them. Today, I'm going to show you 10 levels of injector cleaning, inspired by Japanese engine longevity techniques that can clean your injectors without removing a single bolt. From simple fuel additives to advanced cleaning tricks and a heavy-duty method mechanics rarely talk about. Stay till the end. The last one can save an engine everyone else already gave up on. Method number 10. The smoke show trick. This trick looks wild, but it's one of the easiest ways to clean a clogged intake without tools. The engine's own vacuum pulls cleaning foam through the intake, breaking down carbon on the throttle body, valves, and upper cylinders. It's cheap, fast, and the hardest part is not scaring your neighbors. Here's how. Find a vacuum line to the intake manifold. Most use the brake booster line. With the engine idling, slowly feed about 1/3 can into the hose. Don't rush it or the engine will stall. It loosens carbon that normal driving can't remove. Then shut it off and let it sit for 10 to 15 minutes. That's where the real cleaning happens. Restart it and expect rough running and white smoke. Don't panic, that's carbon burning out. Then take a short drive to clear it. Important, this doesn't fully clean injectors, so add the rest to your fuel tank, 1 ounce per gallon, to clean injectors, pump, and fuel lines while driving. And next, a zero tool trick that works just by driving. Method number 9. The fuel you've been ignoring. If you want the easiest injector trick on the planet, this is it. No tools, no bottles, no garage work. Just pick the right pump. It almost feels like cheating, and that's the point. Top-tier fuel is the quiet hero most drivers ignore, but it cleans your fuel system every time you fill up. It uses strong detergents that regular fuel simply doesn't have. AA testing found it can reduce deposits by up to 45 to 72% over time and leave far fewer buildup than cheap fuel. But here's the catch, don't expect instant results. Think of it like a slow clean, over 1,000 to 5,000 miles. It gradually breaks down carbon and grime. You might notice smoother idle, less vibration, and better response. And here's something most drivers miss, all octane levels in top-tier fuel clean the same. The magic is in the detergents, not the price. Top tier keeps things clean, but when your injectors need a real deep clean, that's where things get serious. Method number 8. The secret weapon mechanics trust. Your engine would beg for attention at this point, because PEA polyethylamine cleaners aren't your basic gas station additives. These are the heavy hitters mechanics quietly use when engines feel tired, rough, or ruined by years of bad fuel. PEA is the closest thing to a deep clean for your injectors without touching a single bolt. It doesn't move carbon around, it dissolves it, breaking down hard deposits on injector tips, intake ports, and valves that steal power and ruin idle. And it burns clean, so nothing nasty gets left behind. Using it is simple, but timing matters. Wait until your tank is around 1/4 full, pour in the full bottle, then fill up and drive normally. That's it. No rituals, no special steps. For city-driven engines, repeat every 3,000 miles as a reset. But here's the key, always check the label. Look for PEA polyethylamine. Brands like Chevron Techron, BG44K, Redline SI1, and Gomout Regan are the real deal. Everything else? Mostly hype. PEA handles the heavy carbon, but there's still one silent enemy that slowly gums everything up. Let's deal with that next. Method number 7. The sticky killer formula. Some engines don't fail with drama. They fail with stickiness. Not carbon, not metal, just varnish. That gummy layer that forms when fuel sits too long inside your system. And when it builds up, your engine starts acting strange. Slow starts, lazy throttle, and an idle that feels unstable. Luckily, detergent-based additives are made exactly for this. They work like a fuel system bath, flowing through injectors, valves, and intake to break down that sticky film-blocking fuel flow. Ingredients like PIBA and PEA act like soap for your fuel system, dissolving varnish and oily residue. Some top formulas even combine both, giving you a double cleaning effect. Using them is simple. Pour into a full tank and drive. But here's the catch, varnish doesn't disappear in one trip. It usually takes 2 to 3 tanks to fully clean the system. Think of it as a slow rinse for your injectors. Brands like Chevron Techron, BG44K, Seafoam, and Royal Purple Max Clean all work well. And if your car sits a lot, this is one of the smartest habits you can build. But varnish isn't the only problem. Water contamination is even more dangerous. Let's deal with that next. Method number 6, the moisture defense hack. Moisture causes more fuel problems than most drivers realize. Modern gasoline often contains up to 10% ethanol, and ethanol pulls water straight from the air. That water travels through your fuel system and slowly settles on metal parts. Over time, it leads to rust, weak injectors, rough cold starts, and unstable idling. It's a small problem that grows quietly. Ethanol treatments help fight it. They work in 2 ways. First, they help loosen gum and light varnish inside the fuel system. Second, they add stabilizers that reduce corrosion and protect metal parts from moisture damage. They also help keep deposits moving toward the fuel filter instead of building up. Using them is simple. Pick a treatment made for E10 fuel, pour it into a nearly empty tank, then fill up. Products like Seafoam, Gum Out All-in-One, or Lucas Safeguard are common options. It's especially useful for vehicles that sit for long periods. It keeps fuel fresh and prevents hard starts later. Method number 5, the Italian tune-up myth. Your engine enjoys an easy life, maybe a little too easy. Short trips, traffic, and gentle cruising keep everything running cool and lazy. But that comfort has a cost. Carbon slowly builds up, injectors get a light crust, combustion chambers collect soot, and airflow becomes restricted. This is where the Italian tune-up comes in. The idea is simple. Heat and RPM, higher revs create temperatures your engine never reaches in normal driving. That heat helps loosen light carbon, pushes it out through the exhaust, and improves fuel flow across injector tips. It won't fix heavy buildup, but for mild deposits, it actually helps. To do it safely, warm the engine fully first. Then find an open road and drive at higher than normal RPMs, but never near redline. Hold it for a few minutes, ease off, and repeat for about 20 to 30 minutes. After that, drive normally. It can improve throttle response, smooth idle, and clear light grime your daily commute never removes. But carbon still hides in deeper areas RPM alone can't reach. So next, we go inside the intake itself. Method number 4, the airflow reset. Engines hate restriction. When the throttle body and intake get coated in oily soot, airflow drops, sensors get confused, and the car feels sluggish, like a blocked airway. That buildup isn't just dust, it's sticky carbon and fuel residue that forces injectors to work harder. Fixing it is simple. Follow the intake tube, remove it to expose the throttle plate, then spray short bursts of throttle cleaner. Don't soak it. Wipe it clean, reassemble, and start the engine. A small puff of smoke is normal. Result: smoother idle, better response, cleaner airflow. Now we move to the fuel system where injectors actually get dirty. Method number 3, shop-level cleaning at home. A direct feed fuel rail cleaning kit gives a deep clean without removing injectors. It sends pressurized cleaner through the fuel rail, reaching areas tank additives can't. First, the fuel pump is disabled by pulling the fuse or relay. Then the cleaning canister is connected and filled with cleaner. When the engine starts, it runs on this solution, which flows through injectors and fuel lines, breaking down carbon and deposits. It runs until the canister is empty. This cleans injectors and fuel system without disassembly, but it's only for gasoline engines. This is basically shop-level cleaning at home, but the real pro machines go even further. Method number 2, the professional deep clean. A professional on-car injector cleaning uses a machine that runs strong cleaner directly through the fuel rail, letting the engine operate on it for 20 to 30 minutes. Because it's pressurized, it cleans deeper than additives or sprays, restoring injector spray patterns, smoothing idle, improving throttle response, and often boosting fuel economy. The fuel pump is disabled, the machine is connected, and cleaner flows through the injectors while the engine runs. It breaks down carbon, varnish, and deposits across the fuel system. Then the engine is switched back to normal fuel. It won't fix electrical failures, but it's one of the best fixes for dirty injectors. Shop-level cleaning is powerful, but there's still one final stage above it. Method number 1, the ultimate carbon destroyer. This is the moment your fuel system gets the full spa treatment, not the cheap kind. Dealership machines use ultrasonic cleaning and cavitation to break carbon deep inside injectors, then test flow, spray pattern, and leakage. After that, The machine bypasses your fuel tank and runs a strong cleaning solution straight through the injectors while the engine operates on it. It cleans injectors, helps intake valves on some engines, and softens carbon in the combustion chamber. Especially for GDI engines, this is the highest level of cleaning. Result? Smoother idle, better response, and a full system reset. Now you know how injectors get cleaned without disassembly, but there's still one thing your engine needs for long-term life.